If you want to really impress your friends when you're in the southeast lowveld of Zimbabwe, look for a Nyala tree and tell them, that, my friend, is a phreatophyte. They will, I guarantee, be impressed. How's it guys? I'm Gus, the African plant hunter. I am indeed in the southeast lowveld of Zimbabwe, and that behind me is indeed a Nyala tree. Muchetchetu, as it's called hereabouts, Nyala Berry, Xanthocercis, zambesiaca. So this tree is very characteristic of the southeast lowveld. In fact, as you drive down coming from Mutare, you get to Nyanyadzi, the irrigation scheme, you know you're in the lowveld when you see those first huge Nyala trees. Very, very impressive tree with this massive broad stem. In fact, it always appears to be multi-stemmed because it has a single stem coming from the ground and then it splits into multiple stems from very early on. And it always looks like there are 4, 5, 6 or 7. Very broad, the tree, kind of from a distance, almost like a baobab in terms of its breadth, which you'll see it is often made up from these multiple stems. Kind of a characteristic yellowish color to the bark as well. It tends to peel off in little blocky flakes, and when those blocks come off, you also see a yellow color underneath. Very popular tree. It's a legume, it's Fabaceae family, but unlike most legumes, it produces a berry, a kind of a drupe, rather than a pod, which is what you'd expect. Very unusual. In fact, the only other tree that does that is Cordyla africana, the wild mango, which is also often found in similar locations and can actually sometimes be confused, although it's the multi-stemmed nature of the Nyala tree that really gives it away. It's also often found on termite mounds, as indeed this tree behind me is. That's a common association. As a legume, it is nitrogen fixing. So there are mycorrhizal associations in the soil, and those impart benefits not just to the tree but also to the soil around it. So it's a wonderful tree for the soil. A lot of wildlife is attracted by these berries. We don't find them that delicious as humans, although they are eaten, often pounded into a porridge. But the wildlife loves them, particularly the primates. You'll see a lot of vervet monkeys and baboons in and all over the tree when it's in fruit. And it's a very popular kind of a magnet for the animals. You'll also see elephant very often underneath it. Elephant actually dwarfed by this ginormous appearing tree. One of the characteristics of the Nyala tree is the very dark color of the foliage. So it's a lot lighter on the underside, but the leaves on the surface are extremely dark green and very clearly visible from a distance. So you'll see the tree from far away. You'll know that's a Nyala tree because of that dark green rounded crown. Very significant, very beautiful tree. The timber's not much used. There are stories that the dust can irritate your throat if you do try to work it, so it isn't much used. But it's such a beautiful tree. I can't imagine anyone wanting to ever cut one down and use it for timber. To me, it is one of the icons of the lowveld. I always know I'm going to the bush when I see one of these trees, and I absolutely love nothing more than to camp underneath one. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed my whirlwind tour of the Nyala tree. If you have, there's plenty more on my YouTube and Facebook and Instagram channels, African Plant Hunter. And if you would like to support me for the price of a pint of beer a month, you can pledge through my Patreon page, patreon.com/African Plant Hunter, and that will enable me to make more videos, which is what I love to do and I hope is interesting and useful to you. Okay guys, I'm off to catch some sundowners here in the bush. I will catch you later. Take it easy. Bye.